Alright, TDS accidentally leaked 2 new towers that are only obtainable by a very limited amount of people. As people would like to call it, and me. Super detailed dev towers. People have been speaking very loud about these towers. They want to get them. Too bad you can't unless you did something for the game besides throwing money. They weren't even supposed to show this. If you're wondering where this Trello card is, it's in the description below. The community have been saying that it's unfair and a waste of dev time. Why work on these 2 new detailed towers for contributors instead of just giving them to the players? Waste of dev time is an obvious concern. But it doesn't really delay anything since the towers were already made a year ago, apparently. I heard the model is made by contributors. Definitely the War Machine one, but not sure about Max Guard. These towers have been made on the side when the devs have free time or when they feel like it. I'm sure they don't want to spend that time checking the bug sheet, which has way more than 1,000 bugs. The main reason is simply to give something more to the people who worked on the game. People say that it could have been just a skin, which I could agree, but it seems that the devs would want to give more than just a skin. That's likely not gonna stop the controversy since it would just be the hacker skin situation all over again. Skin makers should probably still get compensated with Robux for each skin submission they made, so they can actually get something from what they worked. So the devs can keep pumping skins easily while focusing on other stuff. The exclusive towers act like an additional incentive, an extra. Even though if you wanna make a skin, which you spent days or months on it, you shouldn't be doing it for a tower. Now let's talk about these exclusive towers. What I imagine they would act like. For starters, there's only one new exclusive tower and one existing exclusive tower that's getting reworked. The first exclusive tower is the War Machine. We all know this guy. He's basically a grounded pursuit or commando that shoots missiles or fires with his miniguns. He also has a 20% passive damage buff with literally map-wide range. This tower is being reworked too. Being the same thing it looks like. Except it gets progressively more rockets per burst after level 2. But there's one cool thing about him is he seems to have spawn animations and some idle animations. That's it though. This tower is supposed to be overpowered, which makes the community really want it. War Machine currently is already overpowered though, and it's overpowered because no one else can use him besides moderators, currently, so if it were an obtainable tower this guy would definitely get nerfed and actually balanced. But it's not. Apparently, this was supposed to be planned for public release, but they changed their mind. Though below didn't know that, but I'm sure they just changed their mind since it was a moderator tower for a long time. Like what they did with Necromancer being a hardcore tower, even though it's supposed to be a returning event tower every Halloween, but that never happened. Next super detailed exclusive tower is the Max Guard, which sounds weird for a name. In the description, this tower is a burst tower. Like Soldier, which could probably pierce through lead with its laser bullets. The only difference is that the tower can pierce through enemies, not just lead. So it can hit multiple enemies in one shot. Sounds simple again and recycled from Soldier, with the balancing being different. This guy also has a cool spawn animation too, and some idle animations. The only cool thing about these towers is their animation. Their models just look modernized, like what recent towers look like. With a cooler theme, which is futuristic. Their functionality seems like a cooler spin-off to existing towers. Judging from the accidental leaks, I'm still gonna call them super detailed dev towers for the fun of it, even if they're not really super detailed, besides the visuals I guess, just modernized like the recent towers. Hacker is way more interesting than these guys. As for their balancing, it's probably gonna end up being very strong or overpowered. Like stronger than expected. Balancing for these towers shouldn't take a while since they're not treated as existing obtainable towers. Even if Max Guard is just gonna be around the same level as everything else. But it doesn't matter if it turned out to be overpowered when only a very few people will have it. The Max Guard tower gave me the thought that Mecha Base would actually continue to be an upcoming hardcore tower. Which I prefer over Max Guard, to be honest, since he seems very simple. I hope Mecha Base would be reworked to an interesting tower instead of just an upgraded military base. As for War Machine, he still looks like he should have been a hardcore tower. I would really want hardcore rework to be a big rework. Like it just doesn't change his hardcore but also adds more reason to actually grind the mode for endgame players. I don't want some stupid mission quest skins or cosmetics as the sole grind for endgame players. It should be towers, which I'll inject myself with hopium that they'll add at least 2 new hardcore towers. When they could make these kinds of towers even though they seem very simple in terms of functionality. This controversy reminds me of the triumphant hacker skin situation, which everyone knows that the first few hidden wave winners are getting it. Except that situation was more silly cause it's just a piss-colored version of another skin. I don't even have that skin, so I find it stupid to complain over a low-quality skin. The Fallen version looked better since it isn't completely colored with one color. I don't even have that skin too, or any of the Fallen skins after their release. Never mind, I lied. Personally, I find the situation overhated. Is it a good idea? Well, objectively no, since it's simply better to let everyone have it. But I don't think anything will change if they work on these towers or not. It's just that people are saying they could have done this rather than that kinda thing. Imagine a recent update being underwhelming, and they just thought of, well, if they publicly release War Machine this update it would have been good. Heck, they could make more money out of it, but they chose not to. I thought they were greedy. This definitely set up a higher expectation for upcoming updates. Working with 2 more new towers is insane. It also implies that they could make more of these towers. Which they shouldn't absolutely make more of these. The concept of exclusive towers or time-walled towers is pretty stupid. It's just a FOMO thing, which slowly becomes absurd throughout the years. When you realize half of the game's tower roster is locked behind a Game Pass or time, it's actually around 39%, but half sounds better. Now imagine if they were obtainable for everyone, there would be so much cool things to try on with more people having it. They could have returned as a seasonal thing which would help keep things fresh. I forgot Firework Tech is basically that. Good job devs. Some event towers returning for story mode is possible, but I doubt it's ever happening. Anyway, thanks for listening to this Yap Fest. I didn't expect it to be so long. I saw too many people talking about it.